Ken, I want to pivot to the big one. Let's talk a little Nvidia. You did have the NASDAQ snap a 4-day losing streak last night. That was the best day for this month. It was led by Tesla, but also really Nvidia. They've got earnings out tomorrow after the bell. Ken, what are you expecting? It is all AI. The CEO has talked about this being the early stages of the AI revolution. This stock really is still, if you will, the bellwether for AI.
It really is. Now, look, if it's going to go 30 points a day like it did yesterday, it's going to take some of the air out of its wings when it reports later on Wednesday. But look, this quarter coming into it, a lot of analysts were really thrown off. That's why the stock gapped up 100 points last quarter, because they had it for $7 billion. And the CEO said, I think you're off by a little bit. We're probably going to be approaching $11 billion. And that's the number why we see all these upgrades. And I think it's almost like a bidding war. I got $550, I got $750, I got $1,000 a share. But at the end of the day, we'd like to see a sequential growth. And what they're going to say about next quarter. Next quarter, the range is anywhere from 11 billion to 15 billion. Cheryl, we're in about 13 to 14 billion range we see, and that's great sequential growth. And it reminds me almost like Cabbage Patch style kids. You know, there's an aftermarket for them. There's an aftermarket for these CPUs that go for $10,000, and on the gray market, they're out there going almost double. So this is the type of demand that Nvidia is seeing. That's why we have this hockey stick of growth. This is why there's so much, and as you called it, a bellwether. That's why there's so much riding on this earnings report come Wednesday afternoon.
But you seem, it sounds like you're positive about Nvidia. It sounds like you think we're going to get a good story, Ken.
I think we're going to get a very good story. I mean, when you start looking at the channel checks like we've had and so forth, there's very few companies that are growing like this. You know, this is a game changer, as you said. We're probably the second or third inning. Most people feel like, oh, we missed it. It's $1 trillion company already. But, you know, there's just so much runway in front of it, because every company that uses this technology is either going to lower expenses or raise revenue, and in some cases do both. Very few services can do that, could actually help the bottom line in both ways.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad you backed up when I told a colleague yesterday about Nvidia. So, whew. All right. Ken Mahoney, thank you very much. Bryce Doty. It's great to see you both. Thanks, gentlemen.